If you've been in my classroom before, you have quite likely seen this painting on the back wall. It's by Picasso. It's a Cubist painting, and you may not know much about Guernica, but if you look at this painting, it's pretty clear that it's about an ugly incident of some sort, and it is indeed intimately linked with the Hemingway story that you guys are about to read. This Zoom video is to talk about the setting of the story Old Man at the Bridge, because if you have a good grasp of the setting and what is going on, you're going to get a lot clearer understanding of the story and the central idea, which is indeed part of what you're going to need to write about. And I want to start off with the first couple paragraphs of that story. So I'm going to read these couple paragraphs aloud. I want you to then pause the video, and I want you to think what you can tell about the setting based on these two paragraphs. An old man with steel-rimmed spectacles and very dusty clothes sat by the side of the road. There was a pontoon bridge across the river, and carts, trucks, and men, women, and children were crossing it. The mule-drawn carts staggered up the steep bank from the bridge, with soldiers helping push against the spokes of the wheels. The trucks ground up and away, heading out of it all, and the peasants plodded along in the ankle-deep dust. But the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any farther. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. I did this and returned over the bridge. There were not so many carts now, and very few people on foot, but the old man was still there. Pause this video. Once again, what can you understand about the setting based on these two paragraphs? I will give you a little time to think. And now, I'm assuming you have thought and you have unpaused. If not, go back and give yourself think time. Students have picked up a lot of pieces here over the years, and I'm going to highlight for you some of the things that students have observed. Students have wondered about time period because it mentions carts and trucks. It mentions that carts are drawn by mules. This is something we do not associate with the modern period because we think more of trucks, but trucks exist. So we have to be modern enough for there to be trucks, but old enough that we still have mule-drawn carts. And there's a lot of people going somewhere. There's men, women, and children. They're all going, and they seem to be bringing a lot of possessions with them. It also mentions, though, that there are soldiers. And in the second paragraph, we get this line about to what point the enemy had advanced. And that language, the soldiers, plus what point the enemy had advanced to, strongly suggest that we are in a war. And that would suggest that all the people are moving because of an evacuation. Elsewhere in the story, Hemingway mentions Barcelona. He mentions the Ebro River. And if you're good with geography, you might recognize those as signs that this story is set in Spain. The word fascists also comes up. We most associate fascism with World War II, but Spain was neutral in World War II. So what we have here is really, ladies and gentlemen, the Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War was fought between Republicans who wanted a democratic form of government, a republic, and fascists, ultranationalists who wanted government control of daily life. The fascists were led by General Franco, and Spain was divided, and this was a horrific war with a great deal of death. That's what Picasso's painting Guernica shows. Nazi warplanes from Germany who fought on the fascist side bombed this tiny town of Guernica into oblivion, and Picasso wanted to show the horror and destruction. And these two paragraphs are set during that war. The narrator is someone I think we can think of as a scout, because he says it was his business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. This tells us a lot about the narrator. If you're a general, you would not pick the slowest 40-year-old you can find to go be a scout in dangerous territory. We have the narrator, and he is at a bridge. It is a pontoon bridge. A pontoon bridge is a temporary structure. Here's a picture for you. It's a bridge built over boats to go over a river. It's not meant to last forever. This would be an emergency wartime preparation to get people across this river. So what we have is a narrator who went and explored to see where the enemy had advanced. We have a pontoon bridge, and we also have this steep bank that the narrator mentions having seen mule-drawn carts struggling to get up and soldiers helping to push the carts. And what's in the other direction? The enemy. The narrator says late in the story about the fascists advancing. And this is a story about what takes place at this bridge in the middle of the story between people retreating and the fascists advancing. In the middle of this story, the narrator is going to ask the old man, what politics do you have? And what he's asking is, are you a Republican? Are you a fascist? What side do you support? Pay attention to the old man's answer, because it's going to tell you a great deal about this story and what Hemingway's message about war might be. And that is the setting of Old Man at the Bridge. Thank you for joining me, everybody.